Alrighty, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are here with a great matchup today. We have LVC Valorant taking on Towson University. This is a bit of a different one. This is not for a league. This is actually a tournament. So this is the hashtag Arena Beltway Battles. This is the round of 16. This was supposed to be played last week, I believe. But unfortunately, I believe it was LVC that couldn't make that. We had scheduling stuff because we were dealing, I think we were playing in another tournament or something like that. Or like not everyone was around, something of that nature. Anyways, we are now here ready to take on the round of 16. And this is actually going to be an interesting matchup. The winner of this match will go on to play the University of Maryland over tomorrow night, I believe, to see who qualifies for the main event. Speaking on this tournament just a little bit, is, as I had said, it is hosted by the hashtag Gaming Arena. They are based in essentially Washington, D.C. It's technically Herndon, Virginia, but it's literally right outside of D.C. It's like maybe a 5-minute drive to D.C. from this arena. So it's just a bit easier to say D.C. And also, their logo is for the Beltway Battles thing. It is also has the U.S. Capitol on it. So realistically, it's DC. And so far in this event, we've seen a few teams already make their way into the main event. The main event being the top 4, so the semifinals and the finals will be played on LAN at this arena in DC. So far, the teams that have qualified are Rutgers University and GMU, George Mason, if you're unfamiliar with them. And I don't know who will play who, but realistically, I don't know who will play who, whatever, when we get into that part of the tournament. But that is for a different time. That is next weekend. The LAN will take place. And there will be 2 other matches that will take place tomorrow to see who will go where, or who will make the event. Which the match that isn't the LVC Maryland or LVC or Towson versus Maryland match will be ODU and Radford. I don't know much about those 2 teams, but it should be all right. I don't, like I said, I don't know a whole ton about those 2 specifically. I haven't seen a lot from them when it comes to Valorant. I know we've played Radford in like Smash, and ODU, I know, used to have a really good COD team, but I don't really know outside of that where these teams would be. But regardless, that doesn't matter. Anyone can win, especially when it's on LAN. They will obviously have their series tomorrow at 1 p.m., and then the next series after that for tomorrow will be Maryland, and the winner of this match, that will take place at 8 p.m. Another thing to mention, I will be in the coaches slot for this, so we won't be able to see the perspective of both teams. Also, we don't have we don't have our players in house today. They are all from their rooms. We are on our Easter break, so no one will be in house today, and everyone is just going to be on their own in either their dorms if they stayed on campus or at their home if they end up being there. So we will only be able to see our half of the map, or not map, of the only our perspectives at least. So map 1 is going to be Fracture. This is a really good series for LVC. Speaking on Fracture, we just saw LVC play this against UNCC Academy the other day in the CECC qualifier, and they won, I think, 13-1, 13-2, something of that nature. But LVC had a phenomenal map there, and they were really putting on a show. But obviously that was an academy roster, so it's a bit of a different thing there. But we are now getting into it. LVC going to start off on the defense on this map. LVC versus Towson University should be a good one. We'll have to see, though, as we get into it. Starting off with the picks for LVC. We'll see Towson's when we get ready to load into the map. It'll be Zario on Breach, John on Raze, Juice picking up the Brimstone, Crisper going to have the KO, and Sardog on the Cypher. We saw LVC when they did play the past few times they've played Fracture. They've started moving away from Zario on that chamber play, relying on him to just make plays by himself and kind of force his way into engagements and winning those. As they've backed on up a little bit. They're still playing aggressive. We'll see Zario and John go through that dish side of the map on A, especially when they're on the defensive side. They love to have that aggression, love to catch those teams off guard over on the A site. And then we'll see Sardog usually by himself, or maybe have Crisper on his side of the map over at B. Has a lot of utility to work with and can really lock down an entire site by himself. The trap's getting extended in the previous patch, or maybe a couple patches ago at this point. And the usability of the camera as well.
Choose your agent.
You can just spot the entirety of the site and even mark someone if you can get the shot off quickly enough. But now the timer going to run out, so Towson University going to have to pick up their agents here. Speaking on the rest of the series, Pearl is map number 2, LVC's current best map. They have been getting really good at Fracture, but I will say Pearl is likely their best map. And looking over at the picks now for Towson, it's going to be almost an identical comp. Instead of a Cypher and a KO, though, we will see a Sky and a Killjoy. Killjoy and Cypher have been kind of interchangeable for some of these maps. This is definitely one of them. The abilities of Killjoy and Cypher are just so very similar. The main difference, though, being the turret compared to these tripwires. I think the tripwires just make things a bit easier, at least for Sardog, how he likes to play. We saw he was the chamber last semester, so having him play on the Cypher just makes a bit more sense because he can play off of his util, the information he gets off of his util, rather than having to kind of push forward with it. Just get more of a gauge on where these enemies are coming from and making a play based off of that. We are now into round number 1, getting started in the Beltway Battles Tournament for LVC. We're going to kick things off with Zario and John. We're also going to see Juice here as well, but it looks like the fights are going to be over towards Arcade, and LVC looking to make their presence known, but it's only going to be 2 players. So Gotti and Pickles already picked off. The rest of the side of Towson, I would imagine the rest of them are going to be down under, so looking to either rotate over to that A site now that everyone on LVC is on B, or they're maybe going to try and get through B main. You can see there, that's going to be lazy, but does not get a kill out of it. At least spots one, but I'm Schmacked going to fall, and these last 2 players are here in B main. They try and re-chow over in B, and that's just not going to work. It's all down to lazy on the side of Towson. LVC still with every single man up.
Flawless.
And that'll be Juice picking up the last kill. A flawless to kick things off for LVC.
None of my stuff has malfunctioned yet. Can we celebrate that?
As here we see LVC getting aggressive early on. Just what I had mentioned at the start of this game, as John and Zario just taking over through Dish, and the second they know nobody's in that area, they're just going to push straight up, look to Arcade. Very likely, almost every single time, you're going to see the team there. And if they are not in Arcade or in Dish, you know they're going A main. Very rarely will you see a team just get hyper aggressive over towards B main. Sometimes it does happen, but it's not all the time. And now we're seeing already a detect for Crisper with that knife. Suppresses a couple, and that's an interesting spot for Will. Not going to find much out of it, though. John finds 3 in the round. Loki kind of steals a kill there, but it's going to be all down to Pickles, and LVC storming through Towson right now.
Let's do it
Almost
again.
2 flawless rounds in a row. Their aggression still paying off. Now LVC in a great spot here in the bonus round. They're setting the pace early, and that's exactly what this team needed to do if they wanted to take this map and have a good chance in this series. This is a best of 3, just to let you guys know. Tomorrow, though, the winner of this game will play in a best of 5 against Maryland, not a best of 3. LVC getting control of A main. They have the map control that they want, and now they're forcing Towson to make a play. But where will Towson be? As things slow down in the round, Juice going to be over towards the door here. In A connector. Going to start looking to get some control there. John spots one with the jiggle peek. And now he's going to have to toss a nade out. Gotti, though, the one with the first blood. John's shots with the Spectre not quite good enough. Or sorry, the Stinger not quite good enough. And now it's down to a 2v5. Some damage done, but really no kills out of it. And it'll be Crisper and Zario looking to clutch up in the bonus round. Just taking a couple rifles off the hands of Towson would be a decent deal. Flashbang goes out from Crisper. He spots 3 and he gets 1. Zario finds another, but he's all alone. Over towards tower.
Spike planted.
He's going to need a huge play if he wants to take this round. Smoke goes down in tower. And then he gets stunned, so he's going to fall. Towson getting their first round on the board. Only losing a couple players, so
where will they go?
a solid round from Towson to bounce back after LVC kind of just dominating in rounds 1 and 2.
Oh, this is a nice. This goes here.
And we're now going to see LVC look to go back to that heavy aggression style that they produced early on in this game. This is how they love to play Fracture. They are a very hyper-aggressive team. They will chow you on any single angle that they want, especially when they're playing well. And look at that from John. He's going to spot the shoulder of Pickles and just rip him out. Now the push is getting stalled for Towson. LVC still holding over towards B main. Is Gotti going to get a trade onto Zario, so the rotation going to come in for LVC here, I'd imagine. As my guess would be that it's an A hit for Towson. Crisper going to make sure he can support John if he needs to. Nothing close, but Towson just looking to take their time, and now it's all through B main.
30 seconds left.
Sardog posted up with a shorty in main. Sardog does fall, though. Or over in tower, sorry. Sardog does fall, so now the site control is in the hands of Towson. Juice at least gets a trade. John tossing up a nade, spots the shoulder of one over in tower, and the spike does go down in the close corner.
Satchel out.
John satchels onto sight. He's going to get flashed by the sky. That is a very clutch flash. John certainly gets that kill if it doesn't come in. And the turn from Juice is not good enough, and Crisper not going to get a kill out of it either. Now we have a 2-2 scoreline.
I can't see them yet.
A bit of a misplay there from...
Ready.
Actually, I wouldn't say misplay. Zario falling over in dish there ends up being huge. I'm a bit surprised Towson, though, didn't go for the rotation over towards that A site. They opted to go back to B, but I'd imagine they had some info, maybe trying to bait out a rotation onto A and force LVC to retake, and that's sort of what they did. Stardog was still on site, but all he had was a shorty, so he wasn't able to do a whole lot. In fact, he just died before he could get a kill in main, and now LVC on a save. They're going to be grouped up together, but they're not going to spot anyone just yet.
Looks ready.
See Zario just picking up flanks and the rest of the team traveling in a pack. Seeing if they can get anything done, but Spike likely going to go down on A here pretty soon. John pops the ultimate, finds Will.
Grenade.
Manages to stay alive too. But now you can hear that Spike going down
Spike
as he gets
planted.
planted.
Fire in the hole.
Counter ultimate though comes out from Gotti and it takes down Sardog. 3 gets suppressed, but Gotti is not one of them. He also finds another one onto Juice. John now in a forward position, but only has a stinger in hand, so he's got to back away, and he is not able to. So it should be another round to the side of Towson. They should take the lead here.
Last player standing.
Zario gonna fall, and so will Crisper. And now LVC is starting to struggle to find a round, because that's 3 in a row for Towson. May see LVC, I was going to say, we may see LVC call the timeout, and it's exactly what will go down. 3 in a row there for Towson, finding a great way to bounce on back into this map. And realistically, I think a lot of it just comes off of the counter plays that they've been able to make, the baiting out of the rotations and taking the sites the way they want. That last round is a bit different as it was a save for LVC, but the previous 2, they just managed to bully LVC out of the site or even just bait them onto the opposite end of the map, and LVC are going to look to make a play against that as well. We'll have to see what goes down there, though. As Towson starting to pick up their guns, really get hot a little bit here. It's very early on. Both teams still have a great chance in this map, and very likely we'll see LVC look to come out with some fire coming out of this timeout. They've been very much more, I don't want to say aggressive, but they've been calling their timeouts much more willingly as of late. We are now back into the game. LVC, though, able to buy. Typically, you'll see LVC call their timeouts over when they're on their econ rounds, but there they decide not to. So it was only 2-2, but then they lose 3 straight, so they have to keep that in mind. Zario, I think, having trouble making that jump this time around. John just playing a bit of a different angle. Turn's not going to be activated. And John just barely gets spotted by it. But it doesn't matter. He finds Pickles. And first blood to LVC. As he's trying to get a second, but Gotti rips his head off. But now LVC has the info that they want on this push. Sardog also has the ultimate in hand.
I've got your trail.
As Lazy calls in the Seekers. They may look to rotate off of this. Zario has the back on away. Sardog does get hit by the Seeker, but he has a camera over in arcade. It's not going to mean a whole lot. And now Juice just hiding underneath the site over on A, and he will at least find one. Zario finds another. Gets traded out. But Juice is still here. He's not going to even get a chance to win that fight. 30 seconds remain, and it's a 2v2. Crisper going to get stunned, but managed to throw out the flash, so it's just enough to get him the kill.
Cage triggered.
Obviously going to look to take this 2v1, play their numbers. And it's going to be a trade. LVC winning the round. Schmacht finds Sardog, but that's exactly what LVC was playing for. The 2-on-1. And that'll be the ultimate in the hands of Crisper. Along with Zario, Sardog, and Juice also having theirs. Will, the only one on the side of Towson that has an ability, or has an ultimate. Pickles, though, one off. Bit of an interesting play there from
I
Towson.
need this.
Look, after they throw out the Seekers, they know that they have a couple players on B, but they decide not to chal it. They did manage to back them up using that ultimate, but it doesn't really matter as they rotate over to A, and Juice and Zario able to hold their own. As again, John saved up on a stinger. In fact, a few of the players of LVC don't really have the econ to buy full weapons, so they're just going to have to play carefully. Sardog with a judge over in tower, but it looks like the fight will be happening over at A. First blood going to go to Gotti, on to Juice. As Gotti finds a second, almost gets a third onto Crisper, but he managed to get that one and walk away. Crisper then pops the ultimate too. That'll be John playing close on the site, but it's going to be a lot of information over at B. Sardog at least able to grab the Vandal. And that spike should go down if it hasn't already. And there it goes. Crisper gets another on the rotation. Makes it a 3v3. And LVC looking for the retake. And look at that on the pinch. The shots from John are off too. So Pickles able to take down Sardog and make this a 2v3. LVC are now just looking to move onto the site. They don't have a lot of time to work with. John's going to hop on the defuse, but he has to hop right back off. And this should be a round for Towson. And it will be. Pickles takes down Crisper, and Pickles takes down John. Towson showing their own.
They think they're better than us. I can help.
And LVC still struggling to get anything done on their defense.
Equipment.
The attacks from Towson, they're doing a lot of split pushing here from what I've been seeing. A lot of split pushing and a lot of playing off the rotation. Even if they're not getting the first blood, they're still managing to convert these rounds, having some solid tactics to open up some space. So far, that's what's giving them the advantage. LVC on another save. They have not been able to get out of the save rounds since the start of the game. And that's a kill on to Juice. As the dog going to hit John, he's pretty much dead to rights here, and he at least finds one somehow, but it doesn't really matter. The rest of his team off site.
Spike planted.
And they don't have the guns either. Crisper and Zario share, and Sardog stuck with a classic. Crisper just trying to get an angle, but not really going to find much. Flash just barely misses on Zario. That one certainly will hit him. And this should be another round for Towson.
Last player standing.
It's all down to Sardog in a 1v4. He's not going to win that, especially with just a frenzy. Towson just taking the fight to LVC. They know when they're on a save, and it's pretty much been this entire game. LVC need to start stringing rounds together. They are only down 2 here, so they're not out of it yet, but they are in a major, major risk of going down huge if they don't pick things up. They finally are back in a bye round, but they need to start bringing rounds together. They need to understand how Towson is playing and make some adjustments. We saw the aggression early work, but it's been starting to do be a bit less effective. And right there, Pickles just waiting for John to push as he goes to take down the turn. He's going to get picked off immediately. There goes the killjoy, or the lockdown. It's going to cover up a bit of that A, pretty much the entirety of the A site, as Pickles finds 3 kills in the round. The ultimate also coming out from Gotti. One player's going to get detained. That's going to be Crisper, so that's a free kill, and it's all down to Juice, and he's not going to do much. LVC doing absolutely nothing on site at this point. They're just allowing Towson to walk on into them. John maybe getting a bit too overzealous on these challenges. And also, they've been holding these ultimates for so long. Sardog and Juice have had ultimates for the past like 6 rounds, and they have not had a single chance to use them basically at all.
We'll come back. I can feel it.
I could very well see this being a 9-3 half, as LVC have just been on a save every other round. They haven't won since round like 6. Starting to see some utility get tossed on over to the B site. Crisper going to pick up Gotti. He's up in tower, so he at least gets that Vandal to work with. He finds a second onto Pickles. John trades out Lazy
Down B. One enemy remaining.
as Crisper finds a third, and that is a huge round from Crisper. Finds the first blood with the shorty and manages to take down a couple more. Spike is also down. It's going to be all down to Will, as he gets spotted in B main off the jump peek from Zario. Huge stuff for LVC. Finally managing to get back into this. They have dropped a few straight in a couple
30
different
seconds
sets. So this is a massive win, especially on a thrifty. That's really going to be kickstarted by Crisper finding a few kills. John also trading himself out with that ultimate. Will still picking up Zario, but it'll be Crisper to close things out, and the man he should have, or the man who should be closing that one out. A thrifty round from LVC.
My camera is broken.
And a couple rounds left in this half. As you can see there, almost everyone on the side of Towson maxed out on credits. So really, that doesn't mean a single thing, at least when it comes to their economy. They also have a couple of build ultimates to work with. Lazy will have the Seekers once again, and Will gonna have the Orbital Strike. Juice still has his. He really hasn't had a single chance to use it at this moment, but we may see him use it here this round. If that spike goes to get planted towards the A site. Dog gonna run into that tripwire. So we might see Sardog ping up the
your trail.
track here and then call it and look for something. But the Seekers getting sent out by Towson. It doesn't matter. The abilities, though, of the Breach going to take down Sardog. He gets basically trapped. Outside of that, though, it's been all LVC in this round. Crisper also pulls his ultimate in the midst of all of that chaos. Zario just making sure no one wraps back to B. John doing the same. It'll be Crisper, though. He's going to get some noise over on A. And here comes
30 seconds left.
ultimate from Juice.
One enemy remaining.
And he finds a great
Spike
shot
planted.
there onto Schmack. He spots the last player, too. That's Will all the way in the back corner. He'll find the kill. A few shots from both players are whiffed, but finally, Juice going to win the fight and give that to LVC. Now 5-6 going into the last round of the half.
Last round in the half.
No point saving. Spend it all.
A very close matchup so far, where LVC looked strong early, but it was Towson who picked it up really in the middle of this half.
That goes there.
LVC going to go again for this default setup. Crisper going to lead John out over towards Arcade with the flash.
Satchel out.
Here comes John. Spots Pickles, and Pickles is blind. A good shot on Gotti, too. He's at 35 HP, but he's got 2 kills to his name.
Launching smoke.
And from what it sounds like, there's a lot more where that came from over at B. Almost gets hit again. Shots through the smoke. At least I don't think they connect there for either team. Juice still patiently waiting over at A. Has the tripwires and the camera to work off of from Sardog. And Sardog going to wrap all the way around to pop that ultimate. And all three players spotted over towards B main. So we'll see if Towson can bully their way onto the site. John just has to be careful, though. He's going to look to time this nade, but it'll have to be based on some information here. Suppress not going to detect anyone, so these players may have wrapped back over to A. And Juice will be waiting for just that. Sardog also just checking the cam. No, Zarya going to fall.
Off your feet!
As we hear another ultimate come in from Towson. Crisper just trying to play his life. John on site gets blinded. And trades are not enough for LVC here. And look at that. Juice just trying to chow. He's going to fall. It's all down to Sardog. In a 1v2.
One enemy remaining.
His position is now known, but he makes it a 1v1. And he's going to get challenged by Will. Will not having a crazy game, but still just going to chow that out in a 5-7 half for Towson.
They're usually distracted once I reveal them. Make sure to take advantage.
And LVC now on the attack.
Ah, this is a nice spot.
Saw how well they started off the first half, but after that, I mean, they kind of just gave some rounds away to Towson.
Yes, this should do.
And now LVC needs to start fighting back. Only a 2-round deficit, but still could be detrimental for this map.
Now, where to set up shop?
2 players at 10 and 7 for Towson. Schmacked and Pickles both having a solid stat line. Hardog going to be over towards B main, and the rest of the team pushing through arcade. John will be the first one in, as usual. Gonna dodge the stun, but it doesn't matter. Pickles gonna pick him off. Crisper tries to throw out a flash, but the molly cuts him off. Presence tower is known, but look at Sardog on the pinch, finds 2. And now LVC gonna rotate all the way back over to A. Juice gets some intel on 1. Just gonna try and bait these players of Towson all the way over to the B site. But it'll be Zarya and Crisper with the spike on A. Will gonna find Juice. Schmack's gonna find Crisper, so now it's a 2v2. And these players are so far apart from each other. The engagement's just not being won. Util being baited out. And look at that, Zarya spots both. So Sardog might be able to pinch these 2 players. Zarya has to play his life for as long as possible, and Sardog will find Will. And Zarya with a great set of shots with that frenzy. Takes down Schmacked.
If they try something, I'll see it.
Scary pistol round win for LVC, but nonetheless, they managed to take it. Realistically, should have been a bit, or shouldn't have been as close. Regardless, though, put it back within 1. And they're going to look to go back over to that B site again. Sardog going to have the camera over in arcade. And the rest of the team going to be posted up over in B main. John going to look to rip the nade over on site. And actually, he misses, so he has to wait for just a second. That might throw some timing off. Juice finds first blood onto Will. Tower is now getting cleared. There goes Pickles. John gonna get the play off the exit from Pickles and manage to find the kill. And look at that, Schmacked tries to D-hop out. I think he D-hopped that, or he got hit by or he satcheled out from Gotti there. Either way, he falls. Trade comes in from Lazy. Now LVC in a good spot to take this round. As Crisper takes down Lazy. Gotti trades him out, but Juice knows exactly where he is, and so does Sardog. But Juice ultimately coming down with the kill.
My smokes can block
It's a 7-7 game going to the bonus.
Blind, we move.
A huge round for either team, And Will going to call the timeout for the side of Towson. And really just a couple solid pushes for LVC. They're playing their numbers. They know not everyone's going to be stacked onto the site there for the side of Towson, and they're exploiting that fact. The second they get any information on where someone is at, they are blasting their way onto the site. We're seeing John throw down the satchel the immediate second he has the ability to jump on over, and he's finding kills with it. Pretty much winning your ones is the huge part for LVC here, especially John. John is playing so fast and so aggressive that if he's not winning his ones, that could lead to an early 4v5 for the side of in favor of Towson, and that's really just what gives them rounds. John not winning those first engagements, and even so, like LVC, at least on the defensive half, they kind of struggled to win a few 4v5s, but for the most part, now we're seeing LVC take them as we head on into the bonus and out of the timeout. You can see Crisper 14-9, having a big map. John also heating up at 13-11. A very balanced effort from both of these teams.
Let's get this done.
As LVC now looking to go to A. Zardog just going to play a close corner on the opposite end of the map. See if anyone pushes through arcade and maybe doesn't decide to check something. Suppress is going to hit one for the side of Towson, but it doesn't really matter. John, though, finds a double. Huge double from John. Going to give himself and his teammate a rifle, but Schmacked managed to at least pick him out. 4v3, and the weapon's still in favor of Towson. But again, a huge round to win if you are LVC. Spike is planted, and now they can just play off contact. Zardog's going to be huge here over in Dish. He needs to make sure that he doesn't get taken down. He has a lot of control over towards this site. Will going to look to work through main. And LVC doing a great job of wasting some time off the clock. As Zardog gets caught putting out Yuto. Pickles finds two. It's all down to Juice. Can he clutch it out in a 1v3? Takes down a couple. And he doesn't find the third, but he does get the time. As the Molly going to take down Schmacked. A huge round from LVC. They may lose all their players, but so do Towson.
This goes here.
And now they have the lead again. Finding a great point in time to turn on up. As Juice in the 1v3, clutching it out with just a Spectre. And a Molly to his name.
There.
LVC can look to extend their lead here. They're just going to play it slow. They know the money for the side of Towson not too great. So they want to wait and see if they can bait someone out here. But for now, it's not what's going to be the case.
My ult's ready.
Ultorb grabbed for John. Now he has the rocket to work with. Juice also with the orbital strike. I'm going to be able to buy LVC some space if they decide to use them. I would be surprised if they do here, but John may toss out the nade, toss down the satchel, and just go for it. We'll have to see. And yep, there he goes. John pops the ultimate. Still hasn't spotted anybody. And there's his trade. He gets taken down, but he at least finds a trade again. But that's only on to Pickles. Will is still up there. Here comes the Molly from Towson. Smacked finds a great kill on the Zardog. Lazy takes down Crisper. And this is a huge round to win for the side of Towson. The diffuse could be coming in. It gets pinged again. Juice gets the bomb diffuser. And here comes the bait of the ultimate from Juice. Zarya finds Schmacked. LVC playing their time perfectly. But now it's all down to Juice. He just has to keep checking bomb, and he gets taken down. So it'll be a defuse for Towson and a Thrifty in their hands as well.
Thrifty.
We saw a Thrifty on the defense for the side of LVC and a Thrifty on defense for Towson.
Safe. We're going back in.
Sardog and Crisper really just cannot die in the positions that they were in. They had all the site control that they could want, and the second that Sardog falls, Crisper gets opened on up. His position becomes almost a death sentence, and that's exactly what happens. He falls, and now we're at an 8-8 scoreline instead of a 9-7 for LVC. Flash comes in over in B main, and they're getting aggressive off it. Towson looking to push. Juice a bit slow on the second kill, so it's only going to be a trade, but LVC now playing off of that information. They're going to fly on over to A.
Satchel out. Satchel out.
John again being the first one in.
Grenade.
Can get a ping up top, and he's only got a stinger, so he's got to be careful. Pickles finding two! LVC continuing to give up these free double kills and triple kills. This cannot happen if you're LVC. That is about the 6th time this series, or this map, that they've just allowed someone to fry them in an angle that they should never get that many kills, and it is costing round after round for LVC. We've seen them do this before, and we're seeing them do it again. It is one of the biggest downfalls of this LVC team. They throw away rounds after failing to get trade after trade after trade, and we're seeing it again cost them here. It is still a close game. They can still take it, but
Make some chaos.
there are so many points in time where LVC are just unable to trade things out. And again, we're going to see if John can find the first blood, but he's going to get some audio to his left. Knows there's someone close by in the smoke, or near the smoke at least. Zarya pops the ultimate, and LVC on a save. Not going to be in a great spot. Gotti going to trade out John. Finds Zarya with the nade. And now this should be a free round for Towson, as long as they push off of this info. And that's exactly what they'll do. Gotti pulling the rock to make sure he gets a kill. It's all down to Juice, and he falls. 10 on the board for Towson, and LVC now in a terrible spot.
I'll teach them to respect their elders.
Especially if they lose this round. If they lose this round, that's more than likely the map. LVC looking to set up for something a bit different. They had a lot of success early on B, and now they're going to go back to it after a few rounds. They cannot allow Towson to string rounds here again. It's what cost them the first half. It can cost them again here if they're not careful. John again in first. And again, the trade's not coming in immediately. We're seeing this be a constant problem for LVC. They are throwing away their lives in these double kills and triple kills. And Gotti does fall, but not until it's a man advantage, for a guaranteed man advantage for the side of Towson. And really hats off to Towson for managing to pull these plays off as well. It's just LVC, their timings are just that far off that they cannot find ways to get these effective trades, and that's what's costing them here in this game, and it will continue to cost them in this series if they are not careful. We've seen this a lot in the NECC series that LVC has been playing. They've been playing a lot of higher tier teams where they haven't been able to win the trades, and there you go. Finally, Juice putting in LVC's favor. Sardog popping the ultimate, so now they have the info on where these players are at. They know they're both in arcade. The Seekers come out for Towson. Now LVC can play off this info and back on away. Juice has the orbital strike still in his hand, or once again in his hand. Here come LVC, or here come Towson, but they're gonna fall. Pickles
Remember to talk to each other out there.
only gonna get one there.
Communicate.
He's pinched on all sides. So LVC bringing one back.
I need a drop.
And LVC now can have a chance in this game Still anyone's map number 1 here. Look at this from John. He's flying up dish. Gonna get spotted by that turn. That turn has been spotting him the entire time, and 2 come in for Pickles again. Being a demon on the map right now. Pickles continuing to find double kill after double kill, and trades just not effective once again for LVC. Will, though, gets picked off at B.
Right here.
The rest of the LVC team is at B, so they're gonna have to be careful of Pickles' position, though.
Launching smoke.
Smokes come in for Juice. Pickles likely pushing all the way up through Arcade, so Crisper gonna need to be aware of that. Now LVC has made their way onto B. Sardog, though, has a lot to watch
Spike planted.
over for Juice.
Smoke's down.
He does get the spike down. Smoke comes in, but God, he has the timing.
Last player standing.
And there goes the pinch. It's all down to Sardog in a 1v4. He's very likely going to fall there, and he does. Towson continuing to keep themselves ahead. LVC, just no response for Pickles. Pickles is 20-12. Every single time we see Pickles in the kill feed, it's at least 2 kills. And that cannot happen,
Anyone have any
especially
spears?
on a
The
map like
down
Fracture,
my
where it's
fingers.
all about getting control of your half of the map. LVC gonna again call for a timeout. And LVC just in a really bad spot now. They're going to need to win this one. They need to pick up this Thrifty. If they do not, it'll be 12-9, and they'll finally be able to buy, but they'll have to string a few in a row. And that has just not been something LVC has done very much so far. Towson, really Pickle, showing out in this series. Not that his teammates aren't doing bad or are doing bad either. Gotti is 18-15, and Schmacked and Lazy are both positive as well. Schmacked is 14-14. Lazy is positive as well, 14-12. So it's really a team effort from the side of Towson, but Pickles managing to bring things on early. Pretty much almost at the start of every round, you're seeing a first blood or at least a trade from Pickles. And that's giving these rounds over to Towson, giving them the early man advantage. And LVC has just had no response for him at all. Getting back into the game, though. It's going to be a tough one for LVC to get back into.
I need this. My thanks.
Watch and learn.
Satchel out.
And John, again, going to be the first one in.
Smoke. Beacon down.
It's really been almost 50-50 in these first bloods. John gets the ult orb as well, so he has the ultimate. He can fly in with this, and that's exactly what he'll decide to do again. Waiting for his teammates, as he's going to get put pretty weak from that nano, but he'll still stay alive. LVC onto the site, going to get this plant down. Towson, no, they can play the retake though. Juice doesn't even get the spike planted, and now LVC may just look to rotate on out. John making sure his team can get on over to B. Still hanging out with the Stinger, so he's got to be careful with the range of gunfight he's taking. Spike's starting to go down. He's just hiding in the smoke. Will Towson be expecting this? Will they be expecting his location? He pushes on out, but smacked with the flick. Lazy takes out Juice. And the trade's not going to be able to come in, especially with these weapons. And it'll be 12 on the board and map point for Towson. Playing effectively as a team.
Match point.
If I power down, restart me. You leave me with scrap, I'll kill you.
Now LVC will need to win 3 straight rounds
Right there.
if they want to take this to OT. And they have not looked like the form in that sort of form to do just that. They at least can buy this round, but they're going to have to full buy every single round from here on out. LVC looking to gain control of B.
There. Enemy
Sorry,
spotted B.
gonna look to get a concuss down over towards the B spawn for CT.
Prepare for hellfire.
And here comes the ultimate from Will, and he's gonna take down Zario. Gotti gonna take down John. This very well could be the game, as Gotti's ultimate, I believe, doesn't connect quite yet, but here comes the ultimate from Juice to respond. CRISPR will at least take down Gotti with the nade. Juice also finds Pickles. As LVC looking to spam, CRISPR gets the kill onto Will. Sardog in a good position to pinch. And all of LVC just spraying through that smoke, gonna keep themselves alive.
Who am I kidding? My knees are gonna kill after this.
And after that first blood from, I believe it was Towson got the first blood there. They just kind of fly onto the site, just trying to play off of those pings onto the bomb, but it's just not going to work. Or sorry, the first blood came in from LVC. I forgot CRISPR got that pick onto Gotti.
Let's start this party.
LVC still have the ability to push on through and get the overtime. But they're going to have to be careful.
There.
John going to spot the first player on the site, but Pickles in a close corner. Again, LVC with zero response for Pickles. And it's going to be, likely could be too little too late for LVC. As Pickles finds a double. It's a 2v4 for John, or not, sorry, John, Juice and Sardog. Pickles just being a menace to LVC. 22 and 14 right now. Very well could end the map at that.
Last player standing.
So now it's all down to Juice.
Down.
1v4. Has the spike, but not really much else. He's going to look to plant, but he's like going to get chowed from there.
Spike planted.
He's got to be careful. He's in a very open spot, having all the util thrown his way. And he will get cut down. Towson will take map number 1. LVC just not having a response for Pickles the entirety of that map.
Defenders win.
And that's really what's going to give it over to Towson. LVC, though, heading over, or this series heading over to Pearl. LVC desperately need to win that map, though. It is their best map, and if they lose, they are already out of the Beltway battles the first day in, and Towson will go on to play UMD. But looking at the scoreboard here, actually, I'll put it up for just a little bit longer. 9 and 17 from Sardog, 7 and 18 from Zario. You cannot have players performing that poorly, especially in a series like this. But really, Pickles, the man of the hour for the side of Towson, just basically running through LVC, finding every single angle that Pickles could have, and really just going to be the way to win it. We're going to have a 10-minute break in between maps. That's a bit surprising. Typically it's 5, but we will have a 10-minute break as we look for, as LVC looks to send this to a map 3 on Ascent. They'll have to take over on Pearl, though. And we will see what happens there. We'll be back in just 10 minutes. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, we are back for map number 2 on Pearl. A necessary one for LVC to win as they did fall on Fracture 13-10. Really, Pickles being the catalyst for that map for the side of Towson. He went off. I believe he was like 22 and 14, something like that, somewhere in that realm. And he also was the major reason why they managed to get so many early advantages, picking off 2 almost every single life he had. But we are now heading into map number 2. This is a best of 3, so if Towson win it here, then they take the series and send LVC packing from the DC or the Beltway Battles event, and they will go on to play University of Maryland in a best of 5 tomorrow. But we will have to see what happens here on Pearl. LVC looking to send it over to Ascent on map number 3. As you can see, the picks coming in. Astra going to be the pick for Juice. Crisper on the Killjoy. Sardog playing Sage. John with Phoenix and Zario on Sky. LVC looking to create some pressure towards the middle of the map, but also be able to hold their own, especially with the Sage. The walls from Sage, especially on a smaller map like this one, go huge when you're trying to cut off players from a site, especially when there's only a couple angles to look through. We've seen Sardog have some great wall placements on this map, and really that's what gives LVC an advantage when they do pick up or when they do play Pearl. Obviously, last semester, it was their best map by far. I think they lost it like 1 time the entire semester. But that was when Chamber was in the meta, and Chamber could just watch the entirety of B site by himself. Now, things are a bit different. And you need to be a bit more, or you have to be a bit smarter than that, a bit more clever than that. As LVC going to be ready for the map, and we'll see Towson with a Killjoy, Jet, Fade, Astra, and KO. Again, just straying a bit away from what LVC has pulled out, but I don't believe the Sage is an insanely common pick on this map, so a bit off meta for LVC, if you will. The Jet, though, for Gotti, we saw how effective Gotti was on the Raze, just right under right under Pickles, his teammate, on the scoreboard in the last game. I think it was like he was like 20 and 14 or something like that, so very close, but Pickles was just going off. There's really not much you could do about that. Pickles just had an insane map 1. LVC starting this one out on the attack. And they're going to look over to split. Actually, they're going to look to split push this, see if Crisper can get some information in mid and play off of that. Or maybe even off of what any of the players on the other sides meet or get. You can see there on the minimap the spike all the way in spawn. John and Zario looking to gain control of A main quickly. That's exactly what they'll do. Zario trying to find the player on the A site there, but I'm not really sure where that was getting shot from. I believe it was in Cubby. That or it was the connector you see there. Sardog gets pushed up, grabs the ultimate orb there.
Right there.
And now Juice and Sardog looking to gain control of B main. I believe there's a player or 2 on the site. Shots from Juice are a bit off. Sardog going to get the heal on up to his teammate.
Right there.
Now they can back on up. Press comes in, but not going to mean a whole lot. As Gotti finds a headshot onto Juice. And Pickle's going to take down John Cook. LVC need to find Pickles, and they do, but still Gotti doing everything he can to keep these players of LVC at bay. Now it's down to Sardog and Zario. Sardog all the way pushed up onto B.
Left.
All by himself. 2v4. As he finds Gotti, needs to get the second kill if he can. Actually just can wall this off. Spike going down for Zario. As the suppress comes in, the wall slowly going down. That has a lot of health, at least when you're using a pistol to take it down. Sardog still holding over towards the backside of B. Zario spots 1, and that will be a team kill there for LVC. Sardog at least finds Schmack. Now
Last player
2v2.
standing.
Will, though, takes the head off of
One enemy
Zario.
remaining.
So it'd be Sardog to clutch it out. And time slowly ticking away. Sardog hears the spike get pinged. He's going to try and find the kill, and he does. Get it through the smoke. 4K for Sardog in round number 1, and a 2v4 clutch from Sardog and Zario to start things out on Pearl. Great work from the side of LVC to clutch on up there. It's exactly what they needed after how the last map ended.
Right there.
But they did win the first 2 rounds on Fracture as well, and they ended up dropping that map, so anything can realistically happen here.
I didn't grab the spike. None of you did either. So it's not
Spike again just going to get placed in spawn. This is the style obviously you like to have. As you can see the dog spots too. John and Zarya still going to look to push this, but they get flashed, so trades going to go in favor of Towson. Crispert just making sure no one gets overly aggressive there on A main.
I have this.
But he's by himself, so he's got to be careful. So he backs away.
Right there.
And again, LVC going to gear themselves towards this B site. Sardog, Crisper, and Juice looking to make a play.
I need a stop.
Spar's going to go
Blocking
down.
vision.
Smokes will get thrown. Gotti looking to take down Juice early, but managed to dash away. Spike going to go down. Wall again coming in for Sardog.
Spike planted.
That wall this time around gets taken down much quicker.
Opponent
Sardog, though, still finding picks in connector. Takes down Gotti and managed to heal on up. Spots a second there, too. 3v3. Gonna hear one up top. Juice takes down Pickles. Crisper, though, at 5 HP. Will gonna find Sardog, and now the site starting to get collapsed on. Not a lot of time left, though. It's a 1v1 for Juice, and he wins it. Just as we saw Sardog go huge on the backside of B, Juice does the same in round number 2.
Good position, then I'll lock it down.
And another 2-0 advantage for LVC. Going into the bonus.
BYB fam. Going to Astral to do them Astral Guardian things I do.
And so far, the B site working wonders for LVC. Fantastic pushes.
I got yous, okay?
That'll work. Hawk out.
Flash gets tossed up over towards Art
Hawk out.
for Zario. Tosses another one down just to make sure as he gives John and Crisper some space to work up.
Careful now.
John looking to isolate this player. He spots the fade, but Lazy gonna find one. Maybe able to find a second here too. No, Sardog gets 2. Finds both of those players, gets the res. John gonna take out Will now. So LVC in a huge position. They have not lost a player just yet. Massive stuff. Gotti at least finds one. He's in a 1v5, now 1v4 though. Zario looking to heal up the teammates. While Sardog still has his available too. Spike gets planted, and now LVC waiting for Gotti to push on out. Gotti may just save this rifle, to be quite honest. As there's really no reason for him to make a play. LVC know this. So they're just going to hold these angles. Make sure nothing wacky is afoot. Juice going to push up to grab this Phantom and going to dip away. And LVC taking the bonus round. Another massive one to win. Everyone from LVC managed to get off site, so they will have 4 Phantoms in their hand. Wow, there's a lot of Phantoms in this series. That throws me off a bit. I'm not used to seeing these LVC players pick up Phantoms. Granted, that's what Towson was using. A lot of Phantom users over on Towson, I guess. But LVC, I know a few of the players here don't really like using the Phantoms, but regardless, they'll pick them up anyways. They'll gladly take them. And now a 3-0 advantage.
Right there. Right there.
I anticipated us winning.
Right there. About there.
And now LVC looking to storm over to B. We've seen them have a bit of success there, holding towards the back of the site. But now they're going to go for a 5-man push off the rip.
Sentry.
Zarya looking to make sure everyone on site is flashed and without some clear vision. John trying to get through the spawn.
I got the spike.
Didn't spot anyone just yet. Sardog's up in tower, so he knows that is clear, and LVC get the spike down. Crisper will be the first one to get into an engagement. Actually, no, he will. Does he? Yeah, he is the first one to get into an engagement. Just trying to make sure these players of Towson can't move up quickly. And look at that, he's playing his life so well, but still Towson finding kills. But they know where the last two are at. Flashes come out. John gonna end up hitting Zarya right in the face with a flash. And now LVC just need to back away. It's a 2v2. This could be a huge round for Towson to get back. Seekers come out.
One enemy remaining.
Zarya, though, gonna win
Do not
his
fight.
one with Pickles, and Sardog plays the trade. Much closer than what you would have expected, but Towson has been showing
Are you?
promise like that across this entire series. There's been a lot of rounds where they just managed to just win, simply just win by sheerly by winning ones and playing the 2v1s and playing the man advantage. But a timeout called by Towson, wisely so. They're down 4-0 in this game right now. They just have not had a response for the LVC attack, and I think we're seeing LVC play a lot more confident. Fracture, they're confident on that map. We saw how quickly LVC would take fights, but it's just nothing like Pearl. It's honestly hard for me to describe as well. I've seen them play Pearl like 30, 40 times now over the past year, and I simply cannot describe why LVC likes playing Pearl so much. They simply just play Pearl because they like Pearl, and they're just confident on the map. It fits their ability, it fits their play style, and the way that they like to take sites. So it just gives them so much of an advantage. They're able to create so much space for themselves and create so much, just get the spike down and play off of that. They managed to win their ones, and it works out in their favor. I don't have much of an explanation for it. I wish I did, but I don't. Sardog also 8-1. Had a bit of a rough map on Fracture, bringing it back here, at least to start things off on Pearl.
Find the weak point and break it.
And LVC looking to make a statement here if they can continue winning rounds. The aggression over in A main for Zario and John. Spike again in spawn. The default for LVC, really, on this map.
Come on, let's go.
Playing off some info. John going to pop the ultimate. He'll run it back, and he's going to find Lazy. Knows that Will's on site, and Zarya will push in to take him down. Now control for A, and we'll see LVC rotate over. It's going to be a bit slow, though. As Sardog actually going to grab the spike and run to B. LVC baiting out this rotation onto A. Will this work out? LVC just trying to play the mental game. And Pickle's going to pick up Zario. So at least they get one onto A.
That's the spike.
But LVC have to be careful over towards B. Sardog again just going to toss up a wall. This time won't go to connector. Has Juice watching it for him.
Planted.
And Spike goes down. John's still lurking over at A, but how much is that going to do as his teammate gets taken down? Trade comes in, though, onto Gotti. And now John
You should run.
has a pinch. The lockdown comes in. It might detain Juice here
One
on
enemy
site.
remaining.
John, though, on the pinch, finds Pickles. Does anyone have a sight on the bomb? Actually, yeah, both these players have sight on the bomb, so it's not even going to matter.
I end the trouble
Juice
right
takes
there.
down Schmack to close it out.
These parasites aren't going to take one
And LVC
step past
continue
this
to
place.
roll. The mind games from LVC
play some
getting
Astro
2
Stars here,
picks
Alex,
on
on
the
my
A
way.
site and deciding to go over to that B site anyways. They just know how they want to play this map. They know how they like to get things done.
Right there. On my way.
And now Juice with the Cosmic Divider. We're going to see this go down over at B. LVC, again, just going to plant off of that. First player for Towson is spotted. That's going to be smacked. At least managed to get back with his life. And actually, LVC, after seeing that, throw down some util and get away. They're going to look to see if they can get on over to A. They're making sure no one's pinching all the way through their spawn. Typically a common play to an extent. A lot of teams like to have someone on the lurk, especially on defense, and that will be Pickles. Gets caught by Juice. LVC now looking towards mid. Crisper going to spot the player in connector. It'll be Will. Zarya going to find the kill onto him. Now getting back into spawn. LVC just playing the rotation game so beautifully. Taking the fights that they create. See two smokes go out, but Gotti pops the ultimate. The Blade Storm in the hands of Gotti. Zarya gets the trade, so he'll get healed on up, and not a lot of damage will be done. Haunt gets taken down as well.
One enemy
And
remaining.
now LVC nowhere smacked, and Lazy R, and that will be a kill. Sardog gonna finish it out, and LVC showing why they love Pearl. The rotation over, the full push over to B, then the fake rotation over to A, as they go, as they look to get control of mid and do just that. LVC right now can just do no wrong. Looking like a much different team than what we saw on Fracture.
Time to mobilize my pack.
The spike is still in base.
And this is a scary sight. At least for right now, it's a scary sight. If you're a fan of Towson, but they still can pull this to a 6-6 half. They'll just have to win the rest of this half out. Not out of the picture, but with how LVC has looked so far,
Enemy spotted. B.
looks like a tough one to pull out. Someone is on the A site there for Towson. Doesn't get spotted directly, but
Right there.
this man has to shoot the dog. Juice knows there's someone in, or not, maybe not knows, but thinks there's someone in that corner. You can see him ping it up and check just to make sure. So he's working with Sardog over in B main once again.
I got the spike.
Zarya gonna grab the spike and head over to Juice and Sardog. John will do the same. Crisper just making sure no one rotates all the way through Art. There's still a bit of space he's giving up, though. Flash comes in. And the fight over an Art going to go to Gotti. Crisper not going to be able to take that, so now obviously need to decide on what they want to do. It's looking like it'll be an A push.
30 seconds
Can they get
left.
the timing on to Gotti, who I'm not 100% sure if he'll push up or not into the spawn, but looks like for now that will not happen. John going to get detected, and now the Cosmic Divider coming in. So LVC needs to just start making some moves. They have no time left. They took a little bit too much off the clock, and now they just have to sprint onto site. They're at least going to find a couple kills, but the spike goes down, and now Juice gets shot. Gotti with 4 on the round. And finally, Towson going to get on the board. Gotti doesn't get the ace, but doesn't really matter. The showstopper in the round for Towson. Huge kills. Gonna give them their first round in map number 2. Finally getting something going. It's off the back of Gotti, who makes a massive play. Now we see just trying to bait out the rotation a bit too much, and it's not gonna go their way. Here comes LVC again, all the way on B, looking for that full team push once again. John pops the run it back. Gonna see him follow the dog in. It's a bit weak and gonna fall there on the ultimate. Good flick from Juice though. Clean shot. Now he'll look to clear the back site. Zarya also finds Pickles. Trying to put the healing down, but John still going to lose that fight to Gotti. The trade's much more effective this time around. The spike goes down behind the box. And LVC now patiently just waiting. Lazy, though, pops a double. Huge double for Lazy. These last two are from LVC. Are stuck. And Juice not going to win that fight. Finally, Towson pulling it together. 2 in a row. And as I said, they just need to win the rest of this half. And it's not out of the realm of possibility. So far, putting 2 together. They have 4 more to win, though, if they want to do that.
We'll figure out what they do eventually.
LVC had a great setup on site. But they just start panicking a little bit. Trying to check too many corners at once, and it's going to cost them the round. They'll go back to their default. With the favor towards B main. As they find they have the ability to push up to A, they'll certainly take it. Bladestorm going to get popped for Gotti. Pickles trying to maybe find an early pick there. Not going to get it, though. Sardog just holding the heady. John just trying to make sure no one gets...
Scout destroyed.
Some shots go through that smoke. No one going to fall just yet, but Zario gets an info. One of the knives gets tossed out, I believe, over towards Crisper's way, but he's at full health, so doesn't hit. That one does, though. Now he's got to back away. Cosmic Divider comes in for Towson.
Enemy spotted A.
And now LVC back up, and they're going to go over towards B again. See, slowly on the mini-map there, players of LVC rotating out. Juice still pinging that player up top. I don't know if there's anyone actually there, but I would assume so at this point. Now just 30 seconds left in the round, and again, LVC, a bit of a tough spot.
30 seconds left.
Shots through the wall come in, but they're not connecting. Sardogs does there. And look at that, he pops 3. As Crisper down smacked, and Lazy will get picked off by Juice. LVC going to win round number 9. A great push onto B, and that wall really coming in clutch, and Sardog just walking onto site finds a triple kill. Gonna keep LVC's lead
Help a girl out, would ya?
at a fairly decent margin.
Cheers, mate.
Still have a little bit to go in this half as well.
Here.
Placing sentry.
Hawk out.
They want to see that map number 3. Not going to detect anything, but certainly the presence of both teams is known. John trying to, or Crisper trying to watch over Zario. They both pop kills. It's a bit of a disaster in A main as the rest of LVC pushes through, and somehow no one from LVC dying just yet. John going to be the only one to fall. There was a save round there for the side of Towson. You can see that pretty much all of them just drop pistols, so it'll be a safe round there, but they try and make a play through. We've seen LVC do the same thing. They typically, John and Zario will send it through A main and see if they can find something early, but there it was, I think the whole team pushed through that. Trying to catch Zario and Crisper off guard, but Crisper just watching over, and Zario able to flick around fast enough. So now an 8-2 scoreline here. Again, Zario looking to make that presence known over in A main. Toss down the Seekers. Crisper was going to toss down the lockdown, but he, unfortunately for him, cannot get it down quick enough.
3 for 3. Concealment.
So this will mean John just clears out the site, but he gets shot in the back. And now the lockdown comes out from Crisper.
They're concussed.
Wall comes out from Sardog, and
Destroyed.
Spike can go down.
Right there.
Can go down pretty much in the middle of the open. John gets rezzed. 5v3 for LVC. No players detained, but they are certainly backed on up, and John actually doesn't get a kill there. Smack finds 2. Will does fall in the meantime of that, but it'll be all down to Pickles again. Pickles has been the hero for Towson so far, but can he pull off this 1v3? Obviously playing very disciplined right now. Zarya just putting some pings into Pickles. Very weak, and Crisper will finish the kill.
All right, I did.
Now one more round left in the first half.
Last round before the
And LVC
switch.
are looking to put 10
Who's in our hearts?
to their name, going to the defensive half. Their attacks have just been so clean. The way that they're gaining entry onto the site has just been picture perfect. They've been baiting out these players from the side of Towson so very well. And this is something that they love to do on Pearl. They love to have the option to go to either site when it's their default. But really, a majority of the time, they're just going to rush onto B. But this time around, we're going to see them go for that B push once again. As they'll get 3 in connector. Spot comes in from the dog, and Sardog, speaking of dogs, throws down Gotti with the op. Now the rest of the team looking to gather over in main.
My ultimate's ready.
Wallbangs coming in onto the scoreboard there. I don't think there's anyone back there. There could be, but I'm not sure. If they were in that corner, they certainly would have been dead. Cosmic Divider from Juice. Run it back from John. Flashes over the wall. Spots one. He's going to get shot, though, from that Judge. Onto the second. The flank from Pickles is huge. Finds 2. Now a 2v2. Sardog and Juice have to be careful here. Juice going to pull the player off the bomb.
Enemy spotted. B.
Sardog
Knocking them.
is continuing
Last player standing.
to
One
play his
enemy
life, but
remaining.
now he's down to himself. Just has to keep checking the bomb. I believe he gets put to half there, and it does. So that will be a defuse for Lazy, and a 9-3 half for LVC. Maybe not the way they wanted to close that out, but still
Switching
a great
sides.
half.
Where are we
Looking
going
to
this
send it
time?
to the map
Than
number
what was in
3.
the past.
They'll have to win some rounds on defense, though, if they want that to happen. It all starts here in the pistol. We're going to see Crisper over towards the connector side. Going to put some utility down over in Art. Going to have that turret down there on top of the boxes, and we'll throw that alarm bot in the connector gate. And he'll pretty much have all of mid controlled solely from that. As you'll see here, I mentioned this earlier, John and Zario just going to look to double flash up through a main and see if they can spot someone early. Dog coming out, and here comes LVC, but they need to back down. There's 5 players there. And that's just going to be a tough one. The damage is still done, but Zario pretty weak, and Sardog not close enough to throw down a healing orb towards his way. He's at 13 HP. Actually, now he's at 2 HP. Sardog, though, able to get the orb onto him, so he'll be at 52. The rest of the team, actually, Sardog and Zario are going to rotate over to B, while Juice and Crisper make sure that A is still cleared.
Right there. Right there.
Turret going to get, I believe, smoked
Conceal
off.
it.
Just going to throw down some smokes of his own. Spots Gotti flying into the site. Here's that spike going down. So now the rotations are going to come in.
Spike planted.
But Juice is stuck in Cubby. Crisper finds 2. Juice finds another.
Turret destroyed.
2v3, but post plant for Towson. It's in a decent spot. Crisper getting healed on up.
Reloading.
Is it going to be enough? He is at 100, so Sardog just going to toss up the wall, making sure the updraft doesn't come in. Actually spots the head of Gotti. Going to hop the bomb and just play the pool. Now, just has to make sure no one comes through a main.
One
But
enemy remains.
that will not happen. As Sardog just going to get that defuse. The shake to defuse wins. And Sardog going to get the kill on the Will, too. A perfect wall from Sardog there. Just cuts off both the players of Towson, and they cannot play that retake onto the site. So LVC going to win the pistol and put their 10th on the board. Bit of a weird one to end that round out. You can see Sardog just jiggling, trying to defuse, make sure he makes himself that much harder of a target to hit, and he does exactly that. So LVC just continuing to storm on this map. Again, we're going to see Zario and John get highly aggressive. Dog just going to make sure they check over on to the spawn. There's going to be a turret over in mid, so John just tries to push it, but Will gets better shots with that stinger. So for now, it'll be a 4v5, but again, no healing. So I guess we'll have to see if that ends up being a factor for Will. Zario finds Gotti, but he gets traded out. Effective trading right now from the side of Towson, and they're going to be able to get that spike planted onto A once again.
Spike planted.
Crisper does not have any util on this site. He will have the turret in a couple seconds, though, so he'll at least be able to put that down and maybe see where one of these players is at.
That's done.
Schmack just going to walk right past his sights, and he's going to continue walking on. Finds another kill. Now the turret goes down. And LVC can hop this defuse. Juice just going to stick it. He's still alive. He's still alive on the spike, and he gets it defused and finds both the kills after he hops off. Somehow, the shots through the smoke are not good enough.
Last thing I need.
Not doing quite enough damage in LVC. 11-3. They are looking phenomenal on Pearl.
Help a girl out, would you?
Now in the bonus round, Towson need to strike back here. We'll see if John and Zario are able to find anything. And they spot some players, that is for sure. Flash comes out from John. Just going to toss the molly out to where he saw Pickles.
Reloading.
At least managed to back away. Gets marked in the process, but still just playing his life. He wants to hold this close angle, though.
Right there.
Juice holding the long range angle, too. So they have sight on pretty much anyone that comes through A main. Zario just trying to jump spot it, but he's going to have to pick up Art. Connector being held by Crisper, has an alarm bot in front of him. So that'll go off before anything else. Zario sees two over in Art. So Crisper now has to come over to help. Throws down the swarm. I don't know how much it's going to do. But now the alarm bot goes out, so he'll have to throw his other swarm out. And he's got to be careful. Zario also can get shot in the back here, but I don't think that'll happen. You can see that dog spot's 3 in Connector. Now it's going to be a push over to B through Connector. Juice wins one. And he spots Gotti flying down, but he has just too much to shoot at. There's way too much to look at there. Sardog with the no-scope. Somehow, it's a 2v2 with very little time remaining. It's down to John and Zario again.
One enemy remaining.
Make that a 2v1, and it's going to be a win for LVC.
My ultimate's ready.
Another bonus round to LVC. They just know how to play Pearl. That's simply what this is. They love playing Pearl. They know how to play Pearl. Getting control of A main for Zario and John, not allowing anyone to get control there. And the second they know the push is coming through Art, Crisper making sure he saves a swarm grenade for that. Forcing that rotation to B right into the sights of Juice and Sardog. The teamwork just being so clean and effective. And now they are in prime position to just close this out. Ultimate for John. Has to run it back. And Juice has the divider. Nothing for the side of Towson right now, ultimate-wise. And their economy, at least able to get them some weapons. Sardog, though, going to find the first blood on the back of the site. Juice finds another. Schmack gets one back, but he gets traded. And here comes the run it back from John. Looking to close this out here. Spots the last two players. Knows exactly where they're at. Cannot find the kill. And LVC just going to back off a little bit here. Making sure they don't give up any easy gunfights. They want to force Towson to make a play. Flash comes in. Juice not clean. Doesn't get behind the wall far enough, so he'll get taken down around the corner.
You are divided.
Cosmic Divider comes in from Will,
One enemy remaining.
but now it's going to be a 3v1 for Pickles. The hero of Towson at this current moment in time, but
30 seconds
how much can he
left.
get done? Makes it a 2v1. Get some damage onto Zaryo too. Zaryo trying to get out, and he does manage to escape. There's only 15 seconds left. Gonna have to go here. Gonna have to win the 2v1 somehow.
10 seconds left.
Who will get the kill for LVC? It'll be Crisper. Now a 1-1 scoreline. 13-3 on Pearl. We are heading to a decider on Ascent. A phenomenal one from LVC. And that's just what they love to do. Juice, 22-8. 15-11 from Zaryo, 19-7 from Sardog. LVC showing why that is their best map in this game. And really, I don't even know how else to say it. They can control any part of the map they want to in any which way. So we will head to, well, I'd imagine we'd head to a break again. That'd be my guess. As we will be right back in a little bit with LVC looking to claim their spot in the quarterfinal. Heading over to Ascent. We'll be back in just 5 more minutes for map number 3.
Here we go again.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, we are back for map number 3, the decider on Ascent. This is going to be a crucial one for either team. You win and you go to play UMD tomorrow in a best of 5 in the quarterfinals. You lose, you get sent home. You don't get a chance to qualify for the LAN event in the nation's capital over at the Hashtag Gaming Arena. So we will start things off here with the agent select for LVC. They're going to see John playing the Jet. He's a bigger fan of Jet over Phoenix, or Jet and Raze over Phoenix, but we did see last map he typically plays Phoenix on Pearl. Not the biggest fan of it, but he does because Phoenix's kit just works a bit better on that map with all the corners. Juice on the Omen, Zario on the Geo, Sardog with the Killjoy, and Crisper on the Sova. And you're going to see the same thing. Ascent is one of the only maps in this game where you cannot deviate from the meta. It is insanely rare, especially in Collegiate, you will see a team deviating from this composition. It is just way too strong. The information you get from the Sova darts, the way you can place the shock arrows, just way too impactful to not have Sova over the other initiators. And then the KO, obviously, is KO. He's just used on every single map. Your flashes, your molly, your knife, and even like being able to suppress an entire team for a solid 15 seconds with your ultimate is just way too important to have over other initiatives. And then Omen's an interesting one to me. He's always an interesting pick. Although Ascent, he just is meta because of the way he can throw his paranoias and also the placements of his smokes. And also being able to teleport, I mean, just huge, especially on a map like Ascent. I see Crisper go for a lineup here, and that's going to be John and Zario getting aggressive once again, seeing if they can find something early. The turret, though, going to do a bit of damage to John. He has one trapped in this corner. Pickles going to fall, and John actually finds a second kill onto a player, Gotti, in spawn. Can he find a third? No, but he does enough damage to Will as Juice picks up Schmacked. LVC looking to set the pace early again. We saw them win Pearl 13-3. There's Juice slowly creeping up over on Cat. But Sardog is by himself over on A, so he's got to be careful, play his life, and that's what he does. Juice and Sardog going to clean up the last 2 kills.
Standing ahead. Keep them in our
LVC up 1-0 in map number 3. Fantastic work to bring it back. After a close map number 1, they knew the mistakes that they were making. It was still close, but they were making the same mistakes over and over. And really, we saw that change significantly on Pearl. And now Ascent, we very well could see the same if they manage to pick things up. We'll start things off here in round number 2 with John, who's just going to fly forward for a kill. Or look for a kill. Suppress, hits 1, the Silver Dart detects 2, but Pickles in a close corner. And Zario might be in a really bad spot here. He is. Pickles finds 2. And that's where we saw Towson win so many rounds on Fracture. Finding 2 early on. Juice at least gets schmacked, but he's got to find another here with Crisper. They want to have a true effect on this round. Sardog just keeping B locked down. Has a couple swarms to work with, or nanos to work with. Things are starting to slow on down. Crisper, though, has the arrow. Has the sonar. He's going to hear some players fly onto the site, so he now knows what is going down, and he'll call that out to his teammates. Shots through the smoke. Almost connect with his head, but not quite. He's just playing his time in the smoke as his teammates start to get back around. Recon Bolt going to spot 1. Juice gets Pickles, but he does get traded out by Will. Crisper just trying to do as much damage as he can with those shock arrows. Turret Gonna get tossed down as well.
Last
And now
player
he's in a bad
standing.
spot. He's by himself, too, in a 1v2. A thrifty for the side of Towson. I'm surprised it's considered. Oh, I guess they didn't buy guns. They just had pistols. It threw me off seeing that called as a thrifty, but it is 1-1. And now a big round here. No one going to have a major advantage. Actually, that's a lie. We'll see full rifle buys for the side of Towson. I messed up my econ knowledge for just a couple seconds there. LVC going to look to put 2 on the board, but they're going to have mainly a control. Crisper and Sardog looking to get a crossfire in here. John going to find the first blood onto Lazy and gets away. Doesn't get a rifle out of it, but he does at least get the kill and give LVC a man advantage in a round where they need it. Zarya going to look to flash over the top. I don't believe it hits anyone, but John going to be able to have just that much more space. Going to take down the turret. We may see another B hit here, as now the push is being made, and look at that from Sardog and Crisper. Sardog at least finds 2 before getting taken down. 3v2 for LVC. Make that a 2v2. Will also finds Juice before the door shuts. So now Zario and John gonna have to retake as the spike goes down. They don't really have great weaponry. Flash gonna actually hit John. Zario trying to check every nook and cranny, but he's got to be careful as John dashes up just to make sure he gets some sights. And Zario going to get the kill on the smack, but now he's going to need to find another one. He's just going to stick this defuse. No, will peek it, gets 4 on the round, and gives the lead to Towson. It's probably Zario tried to get it to half there. I thought he was just going to try and tap and then go from there, but Will, with a phenomenal play on the site, just managed to walk straight through. Getting that kill onto Juice before the door shuts is massive as well, as it gives them the man advantage. And especially when you have the guns to do so, it's exactly what you need. As again, LVC looking to get control of A main. Zarya going to get the spot onto Will. Toss a flash over. Will is not getting too aggressive here. Making sure to play his life. This rotation could come on to B once again for Towson. As LVC will look to rotate in that direction. I believe John
Here.
may have seen one. He didn't mark it, so he's going to make sure Sardog is watching it. Not a ton of contact just yet, but we should see it come through in just a couple seconds here.
Destroyed.
And there's only 30 seconds left, so now Towson going to look to make their move. Sardog takes some damage. Stays alive for the time being, but finally Gotti going to push through and get the kill, and no one from LVC staying alive on the site. That is a round over for LVC. Towson just bullying LVC onto B. Getting the spike down, and not a single thing LVC can do about that. Paranoia taking down Sardog, going to be the difference maker there. And then Crisper, who's still on site, just doesn't find a single thing. So it's going to give Towson the round. Gio's just going to look to save the rifle. Going to lose the round, but he at least keeps that rifle in hand.
You are a capable fighter. Okay, that is all.
And LVC going to call a timeout. So far, I mean, LVC not doing terrible, but right now they're just getting like the B site is just being given up for pretty much nothing. A lot of util getting dumped later on in the rounds. Towson doing a great job of keeping themselves into it with how they're using their utility and how well they're holding on to it. We saw there on that last round when Sardog was onto the site that he tried to back up, but like he was just getting slammed, got hit by a paranoia, put in a smoke, and just now he just can't see anything. He can't do much. He just has to hold down the trigger, and it's not going to do much when you have a killjoy flying into your face like that. So far, Towson doing a great job in these late rounds, playing very slow offensively, but managing to make it work as their executions onto site have been almost picture perfect.
Turret out. Deep breath.
LVC going to look to get back into it. Going to be saving. The only player with a rifle is Juice because he saved that one from the last round. Blade Storm, though, from John. Can do a lot of damage.
One suppressed.
Suppress going to hit Lazy there. It's Crisper waiting to pop that sonar arrow. We may see John just throw up an updraft and look for a player on Cat. They're going to look to get control of A main. As the site now pushed, LVC have to go for a retake.
Spike planted.
Zario and Juice just waiting for the reinforcements. On the backside, we're going to see Crisper fall, John fall, Pickles again coming in with a double. Exactly what he did on Fracture. And
Player standing.
now it's all down to Juice. Trying to get the one taps, but he's down to 6 HP and may just have to save the rifle once again. So he'll actually fall, get shot through the smoke, and Towson looking strong, looking like they can close this series out here.
Is only a tool. You can't just shoot. You have to think.
Well, that was the save round, so LVC realistically not in a great spot to take things over. But now they are back into it. They have full buys in this round. You're going to see that Odin from Crisper. If you guys remember the last time LVC played Ascent, I believe it was against UNCC, Crisper went massive with the Odin over on this B site. Will we see Towson fall victim to the same thing? He's just going to wait to pull that trigger on the arrow. Sardog also watching over just to make sure he's okay. But there's going to be the audio coming over at A main. John looking to get a pick early. Gets hit by that tracking dart. Now the lockdown comes in.
Reloading.
Zario actually just outside of it in heaven. So if these players push onto the A site unknowingly, they may get some damage done to him, and trade comes in for John. Gotti still alive, but Pickles does
Spike
fall.
planted.
Another retake for LVC. And now the lockdown for LVC comes in. Juice gonna pop the teleport. Sardog takes down Gotti, and Juice spots Will, but decides to hold the trigger. He will fall to Will, but he does at least pick up Lazy. And now Will, the last player left alive as the defuse is coming in. Crisper gonna pick off Will at the end of the round, but LVC get that defuse in.
They look like us.
While that's
Are
going
they
down.
us? I have so many questions.
And a lot of A lot of ultimates getting used there in that round.
Placing alarm bot.
Only going to be 2 left on the map. Gotti has the Blade Storm, and Zario still has
Out.
the ultimate for K out. And suppress the entire site for about 10 seconds, 10 to 15 seconds. And again, we're going to see CRISPR with this Odin setup.
Get out of my way.
The Blade Storm comes in. Obviously, you need to be careful here, though. They don't want to succumb to it. And Gotti will get the kill, or Gotti will fall. Not get the kill, my apologies. CRISPR also wall banging Pickles there, and that's exactly what the play you would see from the Odin here. Here comes CRISPR. See if he can get any more damage done. Whether he does or not is a mystery to us. But either way, he'll still hold down the trigger. And now we're going to see Towson look to make their way onto the B site. CRISPR still in a good position as that knife detects 3. The last 3 players of Towson get detected there. And LVC slowly but surely looking to pinch them. Although Juice does fall to the flank. Going to be down to John. He's only got a stinger, so
30
LVC
seconds left.
looking to play carefully. Sardog up in market. Playing the rotate. And there's some footstep audio over towards A, so LVC will look to move over there. And look at that. Lazy takes down Zario.
10
So now
seconds
this is a
left.
free bomb site for
Spike planted.
Towson, and they get the plant. John's still on the pinch, but doesn't have a great weapon for this retake. He does at least find one. CRISPR gets a wall bang onto Lazy, and John gets the sight onto the last player.
Player standing.
But it's going to be down to CRISPR, and he gets the wall bang again. You see why he picks up the Odin. The hero of the round for LVC. Much closer than realistically what it should have been, but LVC still going to take the round, and that's what matters there.
I can hold an area pretty well myself. Make sure to cover the angles I can't.
So LVC bring it within 1. Will is sitting at 14-3. No one else on the map has 10 kills. This man is fiending right now. He also has his ultimate ability ready. John at 0 creds after this purchase, so that'll be a bit of an interesting one to look at if LVC lose this round. It'll be a mass save. The dart gets destroyed, so CRISPR may just look to spam through the wall again. Playing a much more conservative position, though. Knows how important this round is. Also has a turret watching over main, so can be a bit more cautious about it.
Turret's destroyed.
Turret goes down, so now some intel is gained. CRISPR trying not to give too much of his body away. May look to toss out this dart here. Doesn't jump spot. That's a bit scary if you're CRISPR, if your teammate's watching that. It's not jiggle peek, or does not jump peek. He jiggles a little bit. Now the push onto the B site is going to come through, I think, for Towson. No! It's a push over at A. 3 players in main. How much can Juice get done here? He only finds 1, and that's just a down. So that player, Schmack, is going to get rezzed here. Unless it... Actually, yeah, he does get res, so CRISPR cannot get the kill quick enough with the Hunter's Fury. So now it's a 3v4. Zario finds one on over towards Tree. These players are getting detected, though. Another wall bang for CRISPR. Zario falls, so these last 2 players up for LVC are in Tree. Or not Tree, Heaven. They're going to have to drop. They're not in a great spot to do a whole lot with this position. It's going to have to be a kill onto the guy in main from Sardog. Toss down a turret. Now the spike is going to get hopped. But they have too much to watch. And the defuse just gets stuck from CRISPR. It's a team ace for Towson.
If I power down, restart me.
Now LVC having to save here. That was a very crucial round for Towson to win.
Let us hunt.
And now LVC in a bad spot. Already down 2 and stuck to just pistols. Minus Juice, who has that Marshall.
Knife deployed.
Zarya gonna get the spot of the head of Gotti there. Zardog might be in a good spot. This corner should get checked realistically, and it does. So Will and Gotti gonna get the 2 players on the site for LVC. Crisper only finds 1 in, and that'll be a round for Towson. Another round for Towson. They will get to 6. I know I'm saying that very early, but realistically, I'm not going to see LVC win this. As Juice just trying to do something there. Doesn't get much of anything. In fact, he doesn't get anything. I reword that.
Shot today, don't worry. There are other ways to.
Now into round number 10. LVC trying to get back into it, but they've given up 2 straight rounds once again. And they're going to have to start making some plays. Crisper went huge a couple rounds there with the Odin. He's going to have to maybe turn it on up a bit further. His teammate's certainly going to need to help him as well. John, again, having a rough game. As that duelist, cannot be having that happen. Although Zario and John spot a few in A main. They're backing down as quickly as possible. Zario looking to peek again, but he's got to be very careful here. There were, I think, 3 or 4 players there. So they very likely will chow out all together. They've been making sure that they do a very good job of that this entire series. Chowing as a team. And LVC has been a bit delayed. Again, we're seeing them have a bit of off timing with each other. Zario just trying to get some one-taps onto the heads, but won't be much. 3 detected of Towson. Still a bit of time to work with in the round. Towson likely just going to start making their way onto A. Teleport comes in. That could be all the way in the back of the spawn. That would be my guess. That is on to B. And it will be on to B. Crisper finds the kill. Sardog finds 2. Make that 3. Make it 4. A flawless for LVC and Sardog getting 4 in market. Massive stuff from him as he takes down almost the entire team of Towson. They'll call a timeout after that. A 6-4 scoreline. 2 rounds left in the first half, and LVC looking to bring this one to a draw going into their attack. This could be a very tight map, ladies and gentlemen, going into the ending of this one. But there's still a lot left to be played. Will is 16-4. He single-handedly is keeping them in this game, making sure that the plays are being made. And if he can keep doing that, I'd say it's GG's. It's going to be a team effort to take down Will and keep the pressure off. So far, the B site has been a huge place of emphasis for the side of Towson, but they haven't had a lot of struggles on A either. It's just they cannot look to retake a site. The majority of where they're winning is when they initially push and get into that site and take it. Forcing LVC on retakes is a major killer for them. They have been trying to retake on Ascent for the past year, and it just does not work. It has not worked in the fall semester. It has not worked here. It does on occasion, right? But it's not a very consistent strat for LVC that works.
Bot coming back. Recalling my bot.
So if you force LVC to rotate and then get them on a retake, you very well can just take them on Ascent.
Suppress it.
We'll have to see what happens in that last couple of rounds. On to Dario. Push up in A main once again. Looking to get someone picked off early. Getting some early shots down range while they're at it. believe this might be another A main hit for the side of Towson. Although the middle of the map is wide open if they want to look to take that. Hearing a lot of reloading over at A, so very likely it's going to be an A main hit.
Here.
And we'll see them storm onto the site. John going to look to hold an off angle. The smokes
Here.
continue to go down.
30 seconds left.
Juice spots one in mid. And CRISPR just continuing to stay over an A, but it's going to be a 4-hit
Spike
for
down
Towson
A.
through A main. And look at this. They are again taking the site. The lockdown comes in, though. Can they get the spike down in time before
10 seconds
it
left.
pops? And it's not going to. Sardog
Revealing area.
not going to detain anyone
Found them.
with that lockdown, but CRISPR looking to just take these players off the spike, and they win the round from it. Just barely managing to get that one out of the hands of
Last
Towson.
round in the half.
And that's a massive, massive hold for LVC.
Don't waste your firepower.
Again, Towson trying to storm onto the site,
Right here.
but this time Sardog and CRISPR have something to say about it. That lockdown coming in clutch from Sardog, forcing Towson to respect it, and already with very little time remaining, to not have a chance really
Right
to
here.
get back onto the site and get that spike down in a
Track
safe
them
spot.
down.
LVC looking to end this round in a or end this half in a draw. Blade Storm gets called out. John has an op in his hands. To take down that turret. Has a Blade Storm too, and he'll call that in.
Shadows traveling.
Juice already backing up through tree. Zario also has an op. There's 2 ops on the side of LVC right now, as they look to hold as many long angles as they can. And that'll be a first blood for Zario. Does he get away? He does, but he's getting flashed from everywhere. Sardog watching over him, takes down Pickles, and a good shot from Zario on the Will. Look at Zario go! 4 in the round. A flick, and flick for Zario. Closing out the half at a draw. And LVC still have life in this series. Phenomenal shots from Zario, and great positioning to keep himself alive and get the shot with the op. I have not seen anyone in LVC go that hard with an op in a fair bit of time. Phenomenal stuff there. I don't know how Zario stays alive there. He got double flashed and just tried to run to the closest box and somehow managed to get there. Now heading into the attacking side for LVC. Looking to take control of mid.
Turret out.
Walk up through Cat. I believe this is their default, if I remember correctly. This is something that they typically like to go for to get a feel for how the defense plays. They don't really prefer to go over to that B side if they don't have to, but they certainly will take it if necessary. And that's going to do a bit of damage to John. Turrets are a bit harder to take out when you only have a pistol. Sardog finds first blood. Trades come in as trade on trade. Now 3v3 all of a sudden. John going to stick himself in tree. And he gets the timing on Nagati.
Here.
Catches him trying to reload.
Shutting them down. 2 suppressed.
And both those players get detected.
Player
But it'll be
standing.
down to John
Enemy
in a
remaining.
2v1. Now a 1v1. Is that spike being diffused? If Arrow could have been stuck. It looks like it wasn't. John on top of the Jenny. Has a frenzy though. A great weapon to work with in this small engagement. As he just spots Will. Just barely managing to stay alive. And gets the kill. The walking shots. Enough for John Cook to give LVC a lead again. LVC bringing things back. 4 straight for them. Sardog also showing out 13-8 right now. And this is the LVC you want to see coming alive, especially in this decider. It has been a grind of a series. 13-10 map 1, 13-3 map 2, and now a 7-6 game in map 3. And likely we could even see an OT from how this one has been playing out so far. Crisper gets detected. I don't know if the rest of these players of LVC did, though.
Bot.
Sardog already has to be careful over towards Cat. His alarm bot gets triggered.
Flashbang.
Take flight.
LVC looking to take B. One gets spot in the close corner. Zario going to take that kill. Market going to get put really weak. That'll be lazy. He at least finds one before getting traded out. Sardog takes down Pickles. And now the B site is all LVC's. Although, Gotti looking to make his way in. And I believe the KO was there too. Yeah, but John managed to catch smacked off guard. It's all down to Gotti in a 1v3. These are some interesting angles being held by LVC, but it'll be Zario to find the kill.
What do you say, drone? Ready to stretch your wings?
Fantastic work from LVC to storm onto that B site, take what they wanted. Now they have a 2-round lead.
Kill all your opponents. Suppress it.
Press comes in, hits nothing. So no one overzealous right now. You can see that drone coming up for Towson. Probably spots John and Crisper there. John already taking some damage in tree, but he's just going to look to avoid the pre-fire. That was a very quick, very early pre-fire there. But Juice going to be the one finding the first blood. And now LVC have the A site. Towson going to look to retake, but they have the weapons to do so. Crisper managed to get that headshot onto Will. Juice finding Gotti. And now LVC can just play trades. Schmacked at least wallbangs John in hell. And Juice doesn't have the weapon for that. So now 2v2.
One enemy
Sardog
remaining.
at least has a Phantom in hand, and Crisper winning a crucial one with Schmacked. And the player is known.
You tried.
LVC continuing to put it together. Win the third round in the half as well. The bonus going their way alongside the first two. And now another timeout from Towson. And man, they need it after that long stretch from LVC. 6 in a row from LVC. Now they're just looking to heat on up and close this down. They are just winning every gunfight. It feels like that Towson just not getting a chance. And LVC playing the timings very well as their takes onto site have been very methodical, but the second they get just enough information to know who's on site, they are flying forward to find any first kill, any first blood that they can get. We saw how aggressive LVC got there. The second they knew it was only one player on site, there 3 of them flew straight from A main onto the site and took him down. Made sure to make it a collective effort, and that's what's been giving both of these teams rounds in this game. Playing as collectively as you can and finding ways to get team shots onto the opponents. And now we head back into the game after the timeout with a 9-6 lead for LVC. LVC gonna have a split push to send 2 up towards me, or sorry, 2 up towards Cat. It'll be a Blade Storm called for Gotti. And LVC gonna look to rotate to B. Sorry, the one with the spike, he's all the way in the back. So LVC needs to watch over him, but Gotti with a headshot onto John to start things off for Towson.
Deploying drone.
Drone comes out for Crisper. Spots 2 in market. Actually, just 1, but I believe there's still info on the other market. I could be wrong, though, and I was wrong. Gotti is actually in main, and look at this from Towson. Cutting LVC down. Lazy somehow finding Juice. And now it's all down to Zario in a 1v5, and he has nothing to his name. LVC getting baited to rotate over to the B site, and that is going to be deadly for LVC. Towson still fighting back, breaking that win streak, or that round streak for LVC at 6. Who will be the first to 10 on the board? As LVC just one away from that, but we've been seeing this get very streaky. You can see on the scoreboard here, LVC won the first round, but then it was 4 straight for Towson. Then 2 and 2, and then a 6 for LVC. So we will see what happens here. John gonna pop the Blade Storm. Saw Gotti get 2 with his last round. Will finds Crisper, but it's gonna be 2 traded back for LVC. John, I believe, hits a body shot there. Sardog is gonna take down Gotti as well.
Here.
So now 4v2, and the focus on to Rafters. Collective play as a team going to be huge, and John gets the final kill. Hits the headshot with the Blade Storm, and it'll only be 1 for those 2 peeking out of heaven.
The only malfunction that
And we LVC at 10.
honestly should.
Slowly, LVC inching closer and closer to taking the series and going into it tomorrow night against UMD, University of Maryland. But we still have a lot of game to be played. LVC still need 3 rounds, and Towson can still bring this back. They're only down by 3. And both these teams are very capable of ripping off big streaks.
Right here.
Will get spotted over in tree there.
Ready?
And LVC may just have to back down from the site. Zario making sure the pinch is clear.
Right here.
And now I believe we're starting to see a rotation from LVC. Will got spotted in tree, maybe walking up cat. This is what LVC is going to be looking for right now. You also see that Paranoia get tossed out, so they're hunting Will down, and John with some shaky shots still managed to get the kill. Spots Gotti as well in tree. So now he's going to be able to work with Crisper here as the lockdown comes in. The shot from Pickles, though, is clean. He finds another shot. He's just continuing to back and forth jiggle that. And Smack finds a double, a huge double for Smack. Stops the LVC push, and he might find a third.
30 seconds left.
The spike is in Juice's hands, but John has 9 HP.
Last player
And he's going to
standing.
fall. Juice in a 1v4, and that will mean absolutely nothing. Towson somehow finding their way into the round. I don't even know where Smack was. He managed to find a double. That's just going to give the entire site to Towson for free, basically.
Of German efficiency. Ha ha.
And again,
Laughing is
the
usual.
trade efficiency for LVC has been very shaky this series. And it bites him there in that round. And we're going to see LVC switch things up. They're going to go over towards the B site. Could be a big change for them. We saw what they were able to do, what happened last time. They got stormed. They got swamped on B. It was not even close. It was a 5 wipe. It was a flawless round for Towson. So maybe they go through this one with a different mentality as the last time. Maybe a slightly different strat. And already, you see John towards tree. And the ultimate comes out from Schmacked. Again, finding a huge first blood. He has been massive in these past few rounds. Now we see just have to respect it now. They may have to back off the site entirely just from that. Sardog, though. Good shot onto Lazy. And now it's a 4v4.
Here.
The ultimate will run out of time for Will. He's almost at 20, but he's certainly cooled down since the first half. Or sorry, not for Will, for Schmack. My bad. It's 9 and 14. And now it's going to be popped. The ultimate's going to be popped by Zario. He counters. And he's going to get down by Pickles. Trade is only there for him, though. Juice now in a 1v3. He's just going to have to somehow win this
Last
fight.
player standing.
He's all by himself. And that's not going to happen. That's 3 players in your face. And LVC again throwing away a round from poor trading. Allowing Towson to just walk onto the site, find 3 free kills. As they get caught trying to rotate in. They are not out of the woods yet. And now they're on a save. This should be a 10-10 game after this round. And really go the way either way. LVC put themselves in such a great spot, winning 6 in a row, but now they've just thrown away 2 rounds. And it's all but even. We have seen a few thrifties in this series, but will it be another one here? Oh, we see going to be on a tough attack to win. As Juice gets detected and suppressed. Flash comes in, and John just trying to get some shots down, and he at least finds Schmacked. Trades out Zario. Manages to pick up that Phantom. Juice finds a blood onto Gotti. Another good pick, but they're going to have to play their numbers. This is something that they've been struggling with so far. They don't have great weapons to work with either. And they're going to rotate over to B. They got to be careful. There's been way too many rounds where they are just throwing themselves at B and not checking everything properly. They'll know Pickles is here, and now they're going to get that audio cue from Will.
Here.
So now they're just going to bring it back to A. Checking every corner. I thought I saw a gun there. It may have just been a gun laying down, I guess. As the door to tree gets shut, and now the spike is going down. And Sardog takes some damage there. He may fall. He does. He falls to the Hunter's Fury, along with Sardog getting picked off too. Now it's down to Crisper and John.
You should run.
Here comes the lockdown. Crisper gonna pop the Hunter's Fury, try and take down that lockdown, but he does manage to take it. John wins the fight over in heaven and puts it down to Crisper. Can't quite reach the Vandal. So he's just gonna have to win it with a stinger. And he's not going to. A 10-10 game. LVC starting to squander their chances at seeing the quarterfinal. And it's going to be a timeout from LVC. And this is, you couldn't ask for this one to be any closer. It has just been trade after trade for streaks here. 3 in a row for the side of Towson. And they are putting up a fight. They are going out swinging if they are going out in this one. It is still anybody's game, and realistically, it's a good team effort from the side of Towson. They are just winning their ones when they need to. They've managed to put themselves in a spot to take it, but it'll be a full buy for both teams, so they will be able to just run right into each other. No ultimates available, although John and Juice won off of their ultimates. And on the side of Towson, you have Schmacked, who is pretty close to his, just 2 off there. And this has just been a bloodbath of a game. With how much of a blowout Pearl was, it is the exact opposite of that here.
Keep up.
Right here.
LVC going to look to take over towards the B site. Going to toss out, or actually trade arrows. Then we may see Odin play here actually if that arrow is placed. Lazy wants it. Trades come in. Pickles finds the first blood on the Juice, but Zario take him down. And now Crisper going to look to gain control of the site. Needs to check over towards Boat, and he doesn't! That's the most common place on this site. And just a blunder from Crisper. Zarya at least gets the kill, but now it's a 3v3 and what could be a 4v3. And the spike just doesn't go down. The nade going to do a lot of damage. Zarya at 12 HP, spots 2 players, trying to bait out the push. As now LVC is trapped here on the site. Trying to watch the crosses, but it is such a tough thing to do here.
Here.
Especially with Zarya only at 12 health. Zarya doing his best to stay alive, but he's not in a good spot. And it's all down to Sardog in a 1v1. Has to pull out the classic and gets the kill! Sardog! Somehow, some way, giving the round to LVC, runs out of ammo in the Vandal.
Figuring out how.
Just whips out the pistol. Switching to your pistol is always faster than reloading. And he will show why. What a series we're seeing here, ladies and gentlemen. It has been trade for trade, blood for blood, bullet for bullet. And it's moments like that that give you the round wins and the series wins. But will it be enough for LVC? John just narrowly avoiding that presence detect, so he still has the Blade Storm out to make sure no one gets too aggressive here. Has an updraft, actually has 2 updrafts. May look to spot over top of the smoke, but will go down before anything like that happens. Now, the execution coming in. Spots will get taken down, but Zarya going to get a team kill and put it all down to Sardog. Spike is down, and Gotti, along with Schmacked, again, just wiping LVC off the site. And it's down to Sardog in a 1v4. Came in clutch last round, but will not come in clutch there. 11-11. Going down to the wire.
Can I get this?
LVC, again, going to look to carry that bomb over towards A, but they have been getting stopped on A a lot of these rounds. But in the same vein, their B pushes haven't been too great either. It's just been tough for LVC to get a lot of rounds on this attack. LVC also on a save, so we may very well see Towson go to series point. Presence
Enemy
again
spotted
detected for John and Sardog. Crisper looking with Zarya over towards mid. Just pistols in their hands. This is not a situation you want to be in, especially at an 11-11 scoreline.
Stealing sight.
LVC going to look to execute onto the site. Juice finds the first blood onto Gotti, but we've seen how quick the turnarounds can be. John just waiting for the information from Crisper. He gets a headshot there onto Schmack, but will not be a trade just yet. And he does get the down. And now these players looking to hop out. Lazy finds one. It's all down to John. He's somehow still alive, but he's in a 2v1. He's going to fall. Towson 1 round away from sending LVC out of the Beltway Battles tournament. LVC need to force an OT here
Match point.
if they want it to go their way. A valiant effort from John there, but especially with a stinger, there's not a whole lot you can do in that situation. And LVC had a massive lead in this map. Let's not forget, they were up 6 rounds, and now it is 11-12, and they could lose this before even having a chance at an overtime.
Placing
Standing ahead. Found them.
And Crisper, though, finds the first blood onto Pickles, but we've seen how little the first blood can matter sometimes, as Zarya pops out too, just barely staying alive there. Will they check boat this time around? Looks like they feel confident in the site being cleared, and it is. Now 2v4.
Down.
Sardog on the pinch gets headshot by Gotti. Although Gotti does take a bit of damage.
One enemy remaining.
Zarya takes down Whale. It's all down to Gotti now in a 1v3. Takes down Juice. Now a 2v1. LVC do not need to panic here, and it'll be Crisper to win that fight. We are headed to overtime in map number 3.
Switching sides.
If
Overtime.
you were not excited for this series, the ending of this series in a deciding map, you have to be now. It is 12-12. Still anybody's game.
Turret out.
And really, no one is looking insanely overpowered here. We saw a 6-6 half in the first half, and another 6-6 half here. And LVC, again, starting out on the defensive side in OT.
Revealing area.
Look at that, that recon bolt gets destroyed. Crisper finds the first blood. He is just holding down left click. Zarya gets traded out, though. So 4v4. Crisper, though, still looking to do some damage, and he gets at least another before
Spike
falling.
down B.
Sardog on sight takes down the spike planter, takes down Gotti! Makes it a 1v3, but Pickles still alive and well until Juice gets that paranoia hit. LVC on series point.
Switching sides.
Can they take it here,
Match point.
Watch them run.
or will we see a second OT?
When we strike.
We saw how hit and miss their attacks have been. But can they pull something together and close it out here? We're going to see the B site once again for LVC. Although, won't be a ton of pressure just yet. They're going to look to get some control of mid while they're at it. Sardog watching the full pinch through A.
Here.
John looking to get control of market. Making sure his teammates are aware. Shots going down to the back. And the first blood goes to John. Although he gets traded immediately by Gotti. Very tense situation. Gotti may want to look for more, but there's just no way. He cannot give up his life too quickly. And now it'll be LVC looking to storm towards A. Zarya trying to be wise to a pinch.
Deploying drone.
Will it be enough?
Cover going out.
The drone comes in from Crisper onto A. One player gets spotted. Juice takes him down. Although, again, a
Spike
trade
down
coming in.
A.
Effective trades
30 seconds
from
left.
Towson. 30 seconds remain, but that won't matter. The spike will go down. It's going to be a retake. It's going to be a retake, and it's all over!
Attackers win.
Not given a single chance. I don't even know if the spike goes down there. LVC in a tense map 3. Take it 14-12. And they will move on to tomorrow. 22-19 from Gotti. 23-16 from Sardog. A huge, huge series for both teams here. And it'll be LVC just barely pulling it out on map number 3. And that will do things in for us tonight. We will see LVC in the quarterfinals. They will take on the University of Maryland tomorrow night at 8 p.m. And that will be a best of 5. So be prepared to be here all night. This series took 3 hours, and it was a best of 3. Imagine we have a map 5 tomorrow. That we'll be here until 3 in the morning. Anyways, that'll do it for us tonight. We will catch you guys back here tomorrow with LVC taking on the University of Maryland in a best of 5. We'll catch you then.